Hi, I'm Dave Herring from Alpine Access Australia, and the next instalment in a series of interviews I've been doing for Arc'teryx. I had a chat with Drew Jolowicz. Drew's a Hotham born and bred local, lives in Brighton with his wife Ali and daughter Madison. He's an ambassador for Hotham, Mount Hotham and Arc'teryx, and a very passionate backcountry skier. His quest for powders taking him all over the world: Alaska, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, and a lot of what he's done has been captured on film and in print. And here's my chat. So, Drew, now we've got through all the technical glitches to get to this point. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, thanks, Dave. Good to see you. There. Yeah, it's pretty good. We got bright blue skies up here today.
Nice. It'd be good when we see that chair turning, mate.
Yeah, it won't be long, mate. Won't be long.
So, mate, just give us a quick rundown, a life story in a minute.
Yeah, sure. Look, I've been a lifetime Hotham skier up here. We live in Bright, Victoria, year round, and spend all our winters up here at Hotham. I'm an avid backcountry skier. Have been for a long time, and we love to call Hotham home. It's a great place to base ourselves during the winter months.
Yeah. What about, so where did you first get your start skiing?
Yeah, first started skiing up here at Hotham at the age of 4, so that'd be 33 years now, skiing at Hotham.
Excellent. And what, just recreation? Did you do any racing, or what was your progress?
Yeah, I grew up ski racing and moved into freestyle park skiing after that. And, for me, the logical progression was moving into backcountry skiing after that.
Yeah, so where did that evolve? When and where? And who were your early influences there?
Oh, look, it would have been probably 15 years ago when I got really heavily into backcountry skiing. We got amazing terrain for it up here, and there were some guys up here at the time, Bill Barker, Buff Farnell. They were pioneering it at the time, so I just tried to follow in what they were doing.
Yep.
And haven't looked back.
Yeah, they're a couple of good guys to follow around, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
So, what's attracted you to Hotham and kept you there?
The terrain, basically. We have amazing terrain up here, perfect for backcountry skiing. One of the best things about it is the access we have up here. It's a unique village in that the resort's at the top of a ridge, which means there's a lot of easily accessible lines within close proximity to the resort.
It's just become one of my favourite zones as well. Although I'm a New South Welshman, I love getting down there every year now. So, what's your favourite zone? Are you where do you gonna tell us your secret spots?
I can't give them all away, but probably somewhere like Dargo Bowl. If I'm a little bit pressed for time, Eagle Ridge is a good one, close to the resort.
Yep.
But my go-to would definitely be Dargo Bowl on a good day.
Yeah, of course. And do you get out to Feathertop?
Yeah, we went out there last year. We actually had a really good end of season spring trip up there last year after the backcountry festival.
Yep.
Spent 3 nights up there, snow camping, and yeah, it was unbelievable. Really good time.
Well, I talked to you after that. You were frothing. So what about overseas? Tell us about some of your adventures and where you've been and what you rate.
I spent a lot of time in Japan recently. Done some really cool trips. Had a really cool trip ski touring up in a place called Takochidake up on Hokkaido.
Yeah, not well.
Had a really good touring trip up there. Done some really fun snow camping down on Honshu, down on the main island near Nozawa Onsen. I mean, it's amazing over there. I've also been over to Alaska, Canada, North America, New Zealand. Been pretty lucky.
America, where do you go?
I spent a lot of time in Colorado, in and around Vail, all through Summit County there.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's just those
Yeah,
Rockies
yeah,
are
yeah.
just incredible.
Amazing mountains.
What about Alaska? I know you spent some time up there.
Yeah, so I did a remote trip up there. Oh, it's getting on near 8 years ago now. We travelled by boat up to the top of the Inside Passage, up to a little fishing village called Haynes,
Yeah.
and spent 3 weeks touring and skiing up there, and it's unbelievable up there. It's definitely the mecca for backcountry skiing and big mountain skiing up there. That's for sure.
Look, I went in summer, and yeah, mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Especially that Inside Passage, that is gold.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, fair dinkum. So, what appeals to you about heading out into the backcountry as opposed to, high rotation on the lifts?
Look, for me, I mean, I still love skiing in the resort. A perfect day for me is get a few laps in close in, and then move out late morning to have a look out the back. But for me, backcountry it's about getting out and about. Seeing what's around the next corner. You never know what you're going to find, which is part of the appeal as well. It's always, it's the great unknown, so to speak. But it's definitely the I don't know, the feeling of being out on the skin track, with a close group of friends and experiencing all new experiences. What you can see, it's amazing.
Yeah, I always refer to it as meditative. You lock into that skin track,
Yeah.
and it's a really good, exploration of your own mind, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot like that.
So, have you got any Abbey stories?
Any Abbey stories?
Yeah.
I do have one. I had one close call up in Alaska. On that trip. It was definitely an eye opener, and not something I'd ever want to encounter again.
No. So, what about just can you tell it any details?
It was a small slide. I got caught in a small slide when we were up there with the group, and the actual slide itself wasn't too scary, but there was exposure underneath with an exposed Berkshire.
Yeah.
And for those who have been to Alaska, they know that they can swallow you up pretty quickly. So
yeah, really.
It's
and
pretty lucky to bounce over the top of it.
Well, so what about any other oh shit, I'm out of my depth moments?
There's been a few, but yeah, I had one close call here a long time ago down in Avalanche Gully, where I blew my knee. And even though you quickly realise when you're out in the backcountry, you don't have to be all that far away from the resort to get yourself into a fair bit of strife. I mean, I could see where I live from where I was, but I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did Bill come and get you?
Yeah, Bill did come and get me, actually. Came down and said hi, and 5 hours later, he got me out.
Yeah. Wow. We're having a chat to Bill next week, actually.
Oh, cool.
So, how do you plan for a touring day?
I suppose like everyone else, you wake up and I try to pack all my gear the night before, check it all, make sure I've got everything I need. And then in the morning, it's a bit of a case of waking up and seeing what the weather's doing first, get all the information you can in regards to weather and snowpack and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know that the guys at Alpine Access Australia, they refer to the daily process.
Yeah.
And that's a big one for me, is checking the weather and get all the information you can in the morning before you head out.
Assessing. Cool. And how do you keep yourself in shape out of season? You into mountain biking or bushwalking?
Yeah, a lot of biking in the summer, a lot of gym work, just to keep the old knees moving in the right direction. And yeah, like I do a big pre-season before the winter.
Yeah, right. So so do I. I had a sneaky surf this morning.
There you go.
So you noticed any trends in the backcountry new trends, or what do you reckon's going on with the the number of people starting to go out there, and the hazards, and the good
It's
and the bad side of all that?
definitely getting a lot busier.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, It means that everyone gets to experience it. But the biggest trend I've noticed is a lot more traffic out there now. You used to be able to go out days and days after a storm for and find fresh lines, but now it's a lot more competition out there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that puts
that's the main
pressure
thing.
on people and brings in the whole human factors.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's there's definitely a lot more pressure early on after a storm cycle to achieve your goals, because you know that they're not going to be there for too long.
Yeah. We seem to have lost sight of that old saying, 24 hours for the storm. I think in the old days the guys wouldn't go out. They'd give it a day to settle and for the snowpack to heal a bit, and then they'd go looking. But now it's if you don't get out early, you're going to miss out. And it's causing some problems. Anyway.
Yeah, so I agree. It's a lot like that.
Yeah. So what advice have you got for newcomers to the sport?
The biggest thing I could say to newcomers getting into it is get educated. Get educated first before you head out there. Don't learn from your mistakes. Try to be proactive in learning as much as you can before you head out. Yep. Guys like Alpine Access Australia offer excellent AST1 programs. I'd definitely be getting skilled up before you head out.
Yeah, getting know before you go is the slogan. Yeah. And so what are your plans for the 2020 season? It's a bit upside down at the moment. Your regular thing going on?
Yeah, look, we're planning all moving ahead as usual up here. It's going to be a big year, obviously a different start to normal, but we're all heading in the right direction now, and I'll be planning on heading out as soon as we get some good conditions, and got a few trips planned too. I'll be exploring a lot around the Hotham backcountry early on, just to ease in, and then probably venture up to the main range, and there might even be a sneaky trip to Tassie.
Ooh, need good snow for that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a watch this space, that one.
Yeah. So what else is on your bucket list? What's you've done a lot. What haven't you done that you'd really like to do?
I'd love to ski in the European Alps. I haven't actually skied there yet. I'd love to do some touring over there. Particularly some of those hut-to-hut trips, they really appeal to me. It's definitely somewhere I'd love to check out, is the European Alps.
Sure, yeah. So thanks for having a chat, mate. There's a couple of questions I sort of run past everybody finishing up. That's a bit generic, but what's your favourite ski film?
That'd have to be Revolver from Poor Boys Production. A lot of it was based in Alaska, where I skied, and got to ski some of the lines that were in the film.
Nice. What about your favourite skier?
I'd say probably Eric Jolowicz would definitely be right up there. Sort of similar age group to me, same sort of ski history, moving from resort out into the backcountry. What he's doing out in the backcountry now is amazing.
Oh, it's a hell of a skier. Just
hard mountain charger, that's for sure.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And so with the whole COVID experience of the last few months, how's your family do it with it? And what have you been watching on Netflix?
Yeah, look, like everyone, it's been stressful. Everyone's been impacted by this. It's for our family, it was particularly tough because Ali, my wife, she's a nurse, so she's a first responder.
Yeah.
So it's been a tough time, but it's we're working through it now, and we're all looking forward to winter up here.
Yeah. Well, looks like from the background you still need a bit of snow, but hopefully by when's Hotham open? What day?
24th is our planned opening day.
Yeah.
June 24th.
probably be open. So, mate, I hope it. Looking forward to catching up and having a ski and a bit of a tour. And thanks a lot for having a chat today, Drew. It's been typical. In an industry, full of egos and competition. You're a gentleman amongst all that group, mate. Good on you. Thanks.
Oh, not at all, Dave. Thanks for the chat.
Cheers, buddy.